Good evening, ma'am. This is Barry.
This is Jessica Wells speaking.
Yes, I know it's you.
I
I'm
am
calling in for the meeting. Am I
okay.
too early?
No. It starts at 7:30.
Oh,
So now it's 7:35, and I'm going to call the meeting to order.
okay. All right. I'll be listening.
Okay, and I would like for everybody to introduce themselves. Is
Barrington
everybody?
Barrett.
Go ahead, Mr. Barrett.
Barrington Barrett, board member, committee member.
George State, committee member, board member.
Kathy Lavelle, community member.
Monica McCain Brown, committee member.
Vanessa Kawashi, committee member.
Ralph Cowley, part of East 38 Association.
Bernadette Selby Lee, Downstate Hospital.
Good evening, Andre Beckford, 37th Street resident and committee member.
My name is, let me see, I don't know if I'm on. My name is Pamela Simon. This is my first meeting attendant. I'm a community, I live in a community, so I don't know if that makes me a community member, but I live in a community. I'm a concerned citizen of the community.
Hello, welcome everyone. And welcome you, community member. Once you're in the community, work in the community, you work, live, or even work, live, or have property in the community, you're part of the community. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jessica.
Okay, I gonna start the meeting. Thanks for everyone showing up at the meeting through Zoom. And my name is Jessica Welch. I'm a board member as well as the chair for this year for the Public Safety Committee. I am new at this and I like to take advice from anyone who has it. I'll either use it or I'll put it to the side and use it at another time. But I like to get feedback from everybody that's on this committee with me because I'm not doing it by myself. I have you guys to help me. Thank you very much. And I'm supposed to follow the agenda. I hope everybody got one. Did anybody not get an agenda through the email? Anyone? Hello? Did anyone not get an agenda? So I assumed everybody got an agenda. Okay. Um, we had a meeting last season and we had minutes from last season. Has anybody read those minutes or have those minutes available?
Well, those minutes were not available because I was out sick. I wasn't able to retrieve those minutes, but once she gets back, I will have those minutes ready for approval. The minutes will be ready moving forward from this meeting with that I am actually chairing. She's still out sick.
Okay, not a problem. So let's go down to the next thing. The chairperson's report. The chairperson's report is that in our community, we have had a lot of crime. As a result of the crime, we've had some shootings, and I we're supposed to have one of the community affairs officers here at this meeting, but I don't see anybody so far in order to tell you exactly where the shootings happen in our community. Because it's not just a shooting, it's a fatality where they're lost of life. So I was hoping that he would be here because Mr. Pierre said one of the community affairs officers will definitely be at this meeting. Ms. Frazier sent out the invitation, and I have yet to get a response.
I am still trying to reach. I called all three of them this evening, so I've been unsuccessful reaching anyone.
Okay, next thing. And I just wanted anyone to know that because our community is so large for Community Board 17, I want everybody to be the eyes and ears of the community because there are certain things that happen that we do not see for ourselves, but maybe a neighbor might see. So be attentive to your neighbors when they're complaining about certain things. I understood that right in front of, not where I live, but because I'm right there at Community Board 14, the tractor trailer traffic that I'm always complaining about has had a fatality, and maybe now something can be done because they always get started when something happens and somebody lost their life. And now maybe Community Board 14, as well as with Community Board 17, we can. Yes, Miss Lavelle. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you mention the location you're talking about,
Oh,
Madam Chair?
this happened. This happened right there on Caton and Coney Island Avenue. That lady got hit by a tractor trailer. And also, Community Board 14 has now reached out to us, which is Community Board 17, which starts on Bedford Avenue and Caton. So the the so-called through traffic for those trucks, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be local traffic only, meaning if you have something to deliver, you're supposed to be delivering it locally in our neighborhood. You're not supposed to be going through there to get to the airport. You're not supposed to be going through there to get to Long Island. It's supposed to be a local thing wherein I keep on seeing that Miss Lavelle, you saying something?
No.
Oh, no. Keeps on
I would
saying.
like to address that. This is Barry. I'd like to address that when you finish.
Okay, but what I'm saying is a lot of times they come through Linden Boulevard with a Mercedes, BMWs. We do not have any dealerships like that in Flatbush by where I live. So they shouldn't be on Linden Boulevard, then to go over to Queens, then to go over to Long Island. That means that's a through traffic way. We are local. So if you don't have anything to deliver in our neighborhood, you shouldn't be on Linden Boulevard. And I have been complaining about this for many, many years. And I think I'm the only one that's left that was on the anti Linden Boulevard truck traffic committee. Everybody else has since passed away, but I still have the information, how many trucks was coming through, how many times they was coming through, morning, noon, and night they was coming through. We do not have any deliveries in the nighttime on Linden Boulevard. So there's no reason for a truck to be barreling through Linden Boulevard. And a lot of times, because those trucks are going through, they're actually doing damage to the roadway. And some homeowners actually um get their sewage line broken, and they are responsible for fixing their sewage line, and it shouldn't be, because there shouldn't be any traffic going through on Linden Boulevard. Yes, Mr. Braxton.
Yeah,
Miss,
my question is, the meeting, this is a problem we've been having for 10 years now, which I know you knew about it. But my question is, that meeting that the mayor had the other night, which has to do with public safety and all that, was the boards included? Or any representative from our board was invited to that meeting? Gracie Mansion?
I don't know of that, sir.
Okay, that should have been an area where we should have
And
addressed that.
and if I would have known, I would have went, but I did not know. I did
It
not
was
know.
on the news also? Well, I don't know. I just
After the
asking.
fact. After the fact, it was.
Okay. But that truck situation has been a major problem over the last 10 years. I don't know how we're going to solve it. But,
Well, it's not a matter of how we're going to solve it. The DOT actually has it down that it is a local truck route. There's nothing to be solved. You could read the signs. It says local truck route. That means when they're going through on Linden Boulevard, 3 o'clock at night, those police officers, as soon as they cross Bedford Avenue, should be stopping those 18 wheelers and look at their manifest. And they're not making any deliveries 3 o'clock at night.
yeah, but you got to remember, you might say what you're saying there, no, but you don't know how the police department is run. So, like I said, it's something we should address to the police department and let them know that it's actively happening again, because that was one situation, which I know you know the history behind it, because that's how I met you, because of that. So I think that's one of the things we should do. And since there's no officer there to explain to us if they are aware, I think that should something you should try to follow up on beyond this meeting.
Well, most of the times, as you well know, at the community board meetings, I try my best to let them know what I know as fact and what is written down in the DOT's book. And as for the transportation department at the police headquarters, I'm going to reach out to whoever is the chair, not the chair, whoever is the chief in charge, because now they have changed it from Chief Tran. I understand this year is somebody else. So, so, so I will get back in touch with you after I report to Chief, the new chief that's in charge of transportation.
Okay.
Anything else?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I was listening to what you were saying, and they do have what they call truck enforcement under NYPD. Those are the ones who have to come out at night, and they can, and those are the ones you have to contact.
So what are you saying? We should reach out to them to at least try to do it at nighttime, like in the middle of the night when we are being woken up because of the trucks
Yes,
going.
Yes, it's
Oh,
called truck
okay.
enforcement. They have a division. It's under the NYPD, and it's not the officers. It's traffic, and they're the ones that handle it. It's called truck enforcement. They also handle construction and a few other parts the NYPD officers don't know how to handle. That's their job. It's called truck enforcement. When we had a meeting, I believe it was back in June before, there's another lady, she left, her name was Beckford. And we had her at our meeting in transportation. And she mentioned everything that you're mentioning with the trucks, everything. And she was getting ready to do it, but she got promoted over the summer.
Ooh,
Her last name was Beckford.
Beckford.
Yeah,
And she in the NYPD?
she's in the traffic division. We're the ones that handle the trucks.
Madam Chair, I think you should wait till the community officer is present and then you discuss that with them because we just assuming because this was a situation that just didn't turn up yesterday, as you are aware, because I know you were behind it. So I think what you should do is wait till the officers, you get a chance to speak with the officers who normally come to the meeting and let them know about the concern that has been restarted within the community and see how they'll address it. I think sitting here and just guessing what we think we need is not going to help us. Because I know you and the other lady that passed away, she was
Yes,
very
Miss
staunch in
Williams.
getting. You did have some action done before you became chair, even before you are a member of the board. So I suggest that you speak with the officers that are in charge. There's two officers. I think it's Mark Kwaku and Detective Skinner. I think you should address, even if you have to send a letter to them, tell them you'd like to meet with them and discuss this concern that we're having.
I did
Because there's a
discuss
lot of things reissuing now, and that's a major problem in our community.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a major problem. We're
Madam
all
Chair,
aware of it.
Barry,
Yes.
Madam
is
Chair,
around?
Yes.
this is George Tate. I
Yes,
don't
Mr.
know
Tate.
if you are aware that there are people that have their hands up in the
My hands up and couldn't
waiting to
go.
speak. Before I speak, I just want to mention to you that Andre Beckford had his hands up before me, and then I was second. But so I don't want to
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
jump
Tate.
ahead of him. So if you don't
Okay, so I will.
mind, if Mr. Beckford could speak,
Finish?
then I'll speak.
Okay.
Can I
So
finish?
listen. The thing about the Officer Kwaku and Officer Pierre is they're police officers that are part of the 6-7 Precinct Community Affairs Office. What I am speaking about is the other day, Miss Frazier actually received something from the Community Board 14 asking for us to merge with Community Board 14 to maybe stop the traffic from coming through and being a destruct, destruct, destructive entity in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And that was sent to Miss Frazier. And it's not, like I said, where the accident happened, where the lady lost her life, was in Community Board 14. So it's just something that I've always had my passion about, those trucks on Linden Boulevard. But it's okay. I will give you said Mr. What's his name?
Why don't you let Mr. Bedford and
That
Miss?
was Andre Beckford was next. Then I
Right.
want to speak on this
I wasn't
truck,
Okay,
because
so
this
finished.
let
has
Mr.
been
Beckford go
one
ahead.
of my major peeves.
I give
Mr.
up.
Mr. Beckford, are you ready to
Yeah,
speak?
yeah,
Couldn't
sure.
even finish.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
go
Can I?
ahead, Mr. Beckford.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted
Alright.
to chime in on that and just ask a few questions. So, it sounds like this has been a long-standing issue, and I was
Yeah.
wondering if there was ever a letter written, right? And if residents, people that are part of Community Board 1417, right? If that letter was signed by them and electronically mailed to all of our, elected officials. Also, we can file large complaints at the mayor's office of operations.
Mm.
I have filed numerous complaints at the mayor's office of operations, and I have gotten a lot of success by doing that. I've done it, for businesses on the junction that do not clean up. It's always filthy on the junction, and I always take pictures and I send it to the mayor's office of operations, and they'll email me back. They'll say they contacted, the sanitation department, and they've gone out and fined the businesses that have done that. So what we need to do, it sounds like, if it hasn't been done, is, write up a letter, have citizens sign it, and do this electronically, because every one of these city officials have emails, have websites that we could, communicate to them with, right? And send it to them and say, hey, we've got 100 signatures here of people complaining, and do it repeatedly. This is the same thing that Jewish people do in their communities, and their
Mhm.
voices are heard because they are speaking as one, right? So we don't need to do it individually. We need to use the power of numbers to achieve our goals once we
O-
identify what the problem is. So I just wanted
Okay.
to chime in and say that. That was it.
I thank you for that chiming in and saying that we should go to the mayor's office of operations. Understand too, Mr. Beckford, that how we had originally did it. We did it door to door, and it was a group of us. Like I said, I'm one of them that's still alive. But we went door to door
Life.
from our Bedford Avenue all the way down to I think we went up to like Brookdale right there.
Yes.
And we
Yeah.
did this door to door, meaning knock on everybody's door, ring their bell. Are you a homeowner? Did you know that these traffic that are that's on Linden Boulevard with these trucks, they don't belong here. We actually went to the people when I was able to walk better, and I, we came back to the 6-7 precinct. We actually got to DOT for the state. Another article was written for us by someone in New York Times. We have all of that written down, but now that this new age of technology come, I understand what you're saying. Maybe we need to try going door to door again and letting everybody go into the, I guess, the technology age and sign that petition, because we had another petition that was signed by other people that lived in the neighborhood who were interested, because a lot of things has happened and a lot of things has changed since then. So you're
Right.
absolutely right. So I'm
So
going to actually write
can I
that.
just add one thing? Can I just add one thing? And I know there are other people I want to speak. I just want to say this real quick, and I'll check for the next website for the next meeting. But I believe the New York City, they have a geographical information system website. We may be able to put in an address and get the addresses and information for all the residents in a certain area, right? And we could mail stuff out, and as opposed, or in addition to going door to door, once we have the mailing list for all the residents, we could just mail something out. So we can do that as well, and that's that would take some of the burden off of the footwork, because we could obtain that information electronically and then type up the letter and say, hey, can you sign or be a part of this, and have them email it in or whatever the case is. But I'll look into that.
Please, please do, Mr. Beckford. That was I really
Hear from
appreciate something like
Fair at all. This is
that. Okay,
bullshit.
Mr. Hold on. Mr. Tate, you were next. Mr. Tate, Mr. George Tate.
I'm sorry, I was muted. I was talking, I didn't realize I was muted. Yes, this situation with the trucks has been an issue, not only Linden Boulevard, throughout East Flatbush. I've been fighting for this, for the Farragut Road corridor, because we have a couple of trucking companies around here. We have a garbage transfer station around here, and the trucks are roaming around, and in the residential areas where they're not supposed to be, ignoring the signs. They have taken those signs around here, and we have complained the transportation, through public safety, through sanitation, and nothing's been done. The issue here is the lack of enforcement. The precinct is not doing enough to enforce this. They did 3 or 4 years ago, they did a big, they did an enforcement, and they issued a lot of tickets to trucks that should not be on the road, period. They had false inspections. As a matter of fact, they towed away one of the trucks. That they needed to be, the promise they were going to do again, they haven't done. So we need to keep the pressure on the precinct itself to do the truck enforcements around here.
Okay,
That's my take on that.
That's something that we definitely must do together.
This is why I say you should wait till the two officers, any other officers from the 6-7 who usually come to the meeting is there, and you address that to them.
Mr. Barrett, hold on. The thing about it is, Mr. Barrett, until
Them prejudicial assholes.
I beg your pardon? Hello? Okay, Mr. Barrett, even though those officers, the 3 of them that are part of the community affairs is not present here at our meeting, that doesn't mean that it's going to take away from what we need to address them about. They're not here. That's not going to stop anyone from speaking about we needed enforcement of the transportation issues that are here that is not safe for our community. It's still our community. And the people that are in the community affairs, they don't live in our community. So all we can do is say what we have to say now. And when we get in touch with them, or if I get a chance to make an appointment with them one morning, I will definitely take what Mr. Tate said and take it to them. Not because they're not here. I'm not going to stop anyone from saying what they have to say. It's their loss that they're not here with us, because I did let them know that we was going to have this meeting, and I did that in person. So, Mr. Tate, thank you very much. And I do agree that we do have to keep under pressure.
Yes,
for these
you're
things to-
welcome. And I just wanted to add that you mentioned the lady that was killed by a truck over there by Caton. But right here on Troy Avenue between Glenwood and Farragut, I think it was last year, one of the truckers got crushed by another truck. Because by the garbage transfer station, you can't even walk around here during the day because it's a mess. So that's we have that in our area due to the trucking problem.
And that was done last year, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that was last year.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tate.
You're
Anyone
welcome.
else? Because I'm not able to see who's raising their hands. I'm sorry. I'm not able to see who's raising their hands.
Okay, what I'll do, if you don't mind, if I see anyone with a raised hand, I will
Uh,
let you know.
Thank
Okay, because
you.
I could see them. You're
Because I
welcome.
can't see at all.
Down your
No
glasses.
one has their hands raised right now.
Okay. So we spoke about the the okay. We're up to community board usage of the 6-7 precinct.
What does that mean?
Um, in our area, what is what is important to this committee for the 6-7 to handle? Like certain things that happen in the 6-7 that I'm not aware of, but you might be aware of it. And we can, like I said, we were supposed to have the community officers here, but I don't even have one, and we have three of them.
Ms. Welch,
Yes.
so after calling and texting, Officer Skinner said that no one is in the office. They all had an early tour today. I just wanted to share that with you.
Okay.
And again, Madam Chair,
Yes.
I think I mentioned to you earlier, not today, when you told me you were going to be the chair of it, that you should get in touch with those officers. Because what they do
I
is,
spoke. No, I
no,
actually.
listen what I'm saying. What
Okay,
I'm
go ahead.
saying, you should ask them to put you on their alert system. When they do that, anything that happens within the confinement of the 67 precinct, you are notified immediately. That's all I'm saying. So I'm reminding you again, you might have forgot. Try to get it when you get a hold of any one of them, especially Mark or Detective Skinner. Make sure they have your information that they give you an alert. If there's a shooting, if there's an accident or whatever happening within the confinement of the 67, you're notified immediately. So
But
I'm
our
just,
chair, Mr. Rudy Daly, wrote them to let them
I'm
know.
not talking about Mr. Rudy Daly.
No,
I'm
no,
talking about
I'm saying to you, let me speak, please. What I'm saying to you is our chair, Mr. Rudy Daly, did send them an email letting them know that I'm now the chair of public safety. And whilst they are sending him the information about the killings, they should also send me the alert. He did write that to them. And this is from September, yes. And I spoke to Mr. Mark Pierre earlier this week. I knew he wasn't able to come to this meeting today, but he said the other two, they were supposed to be able to come. And I'm still waiting.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
yeah, it's George Tate again. Did you give Officer Pierre your email address yourself?
I did. I gave it to the chair, Mr. Daly,
yeah, but
and
that,
he sent it.
give
No,
it
No,
to,
no,
I said,
he was
Mhm.
explaining to me how to send it. He was explaining to me how to send it. When we sent it out, it's not that it wasn't sent because this technology is all new to me. And he was explaining to me and showing me how it's done and how to send the copies, and it was sent.
Okay, I would suggest you gave it that you yourself gave it directly to either Officer Pierre or Detective Skinner,
Go
because
myself
they
so they
because
could
they
say that
because
they didn't receive it.
they have a mailing list which is about over 50 people that they notify whenever something happens in the community. I would suggest you give it directly to them to make sure they have it. They can't say they don't have it. You know.
Okay,
Uh, mhm.
I will.
Mr. Chair, so essentially you brought up, any issues happening on the blocks, and notice that there's been a lot of catalytic converters being stolen from cars. I don't know if anybody else has been experiencing that, but I just wanted to bring that up as an issue that we've been seeing.
Yes,
That
I
should be
heard
addressed on the
about
police.
that.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly where is that located? Isn't it located on the bottom of the car? I was
The
asking.
It's part of the muffler system.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Miss Madam Chair, can I address it?
Yes, please, sir.
Okay. Yes, Mr. The person who asked I see his name is gone. Yeah, to the person who asked about the catalytic converter, yeah, the precinct have been handing out a lot of information regarding the catalytic converters. This is something that's been happening, and they basically are recommended that you try to park. If you have to park in the street, try to park with this light, or take a look and see if there's a video camera nearby. But it's an issue that's been happening not only in our community, but it's happening throughout the city. And right now it's out on Long Island too. So yes, it's a big problem. And what I would suggest, if you want to see this like information from the precinct, if you go on the website, or look them, or put them, go on Facebook and befriend them, they will send information, because the Deputy Inspector Saliba, he sent things out daily via Facebook and by Twitter. So those are two things that you keep track of what's happening in our neighborhood, like that. And he does send a lot of things regarding the catalytic converter. As a matter of fact, he said that two of the cars that they are really targeting are the Mitsubishi and the Honda Accords. So
And
just keep that in mind.
I also found out that they have certain mechanic shops that's putting like a metal something in the top of it so that
Fire.
they can't pull it out. I don't
They can
know.
pull it out, but they put a label on it, so
Oh,
they can resell it. That's all.
oh, okay.
It's
But
just a
that,
label, a special type of label they put, technology they put on the catalytic thing. I need to get mine done too, because my vehicle is
yeah,
like
but
that.
they're reinforcing the area where it is because it's easy to just pull it out and that's it. But now they're putting like a I don't know, lack of a better term, they're putting a safety gate on it, a metal plank that goes over it so it cannot be easily taken out.
Well, what the police department is doing, they're putting a tag with a number, and then so that if they take it to the
Resell it.
Hmm.
shops, they're not supposed to buy them from them. And if they do and they get caught with it, then they could lose their license. The shop could lose their license. So what the police department, and they started in the Bronx, they will tag the catalytic converter, and then they put a little sticker on your window, and you're saying that the catalytic converter is inscribed, or whatever they use it, to let the thieves know that if they take that catalytic converter from the car, they're going to have a hard time selling it.
Reselling it.
Yeah, but what I really would like to see them that they bring that program to Brooklyn, soon. Because right now they started in the Bronx. They say they're going to
They
bring
just
it to different communities, but we need to ask the precinct to see if they could pressure the city into bringing it to our community.
busy, so I'm gonna make my own tea.
Okay, so that takes care of that.
Thank you. And quick question, you mentioned Deputy Attendant is Twitter. I wanted to try to see if I could follow him on Twitter. Which Deputy Attendant was that?
His name is Deputy Inspector Gabby, Gabby, Saliba, Celiba.
Let me remove this.
But if you go on the 67 precinct website, you'll find the information there.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, sir. Okay. Anything else that we need to address in this meeting for the community board to address to the 6-7 precinct?
Yes, this is Vanessa Quashi.
Yes, Ms. Quesh.
Yes, lighting. Our community is very dark. Now, I've been talking to Farrah Lewis's office. I've been talking to Monique's office. I've been talking to Kevin Parker's office. I've been talking to the 67 precinct, and they all point the finger at each other.
What do we
Social
expect?
issue.
And
That's a city issue.
Farragut Road is dark. Albany Avenue is dark. Troy Avenue is dark. Now we're getting these skyscrapers and they're making it darker. And at night, it's quite dangerous around here because it's very dark. And I'm a corner house. I have what you call one of those bright lights on my front house. If Brooklyn Prime is not open that day, it's really dark. So once they close, and thank goodness the Fazio brothers put great lighting on their side of the street. If it wasn't for them, it would be very dark on Farragut and Troy. So we need some lighting because, you know, the time is about to change again and it's bad. And then when you have these big tractor trailers parking where they're not supposed to park down on Troy Avenue going towards Glenwood Road, they make it even darker.
Okay. Going towards Glenwood Road, you said?
Yes. They parked where the old Edmonds are, what used to be.
That's a commercial area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're not supposed to be parked there. What business do they have down there? That's not even their businesses.
Mm.
And then they sit there and they clean their tractor trailers playing the music loud like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Hosing down the tractor trailers.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Vanessa. But what
You're
about
welcome.
the how do you say when you reached out to these elected officials, any of them answered?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They're working on it.
They're working on it. That's what they told you?
Yes.
Okay.
They're working on it. We had a meeting at the precinct not too long ago in the summer. And they take your name. I called them up and followed up on it because, you know, they always take your name and number and, you know, they send the little flunky and I make sure I call the flunky to get back. I'm not going to leave it to them. And they call people and they said that the police department should put one of their jumbotrons up there.
In that area where it's
It's dark.
I
And
remember.
then the police says, well, we need that for high crime areas.
Oh, but isn't that a deterrent? Okay.
Yeah, well,
Okay. Understand.
that's how they point the finger at each other.
Okay. So when you went to the elected officials, they also was pointed at the police? Because I remember
No,
when
they went. No, the elected official. Yeah, they're trying. Well, that's what they said. They can't. They're not getting anywhere.
Oh. Okay, so what
Because I've
I
called Kevin
remember when
Parker's office. I called Monique and I called Farrah Lewis. They're all working on. They're trying to get something done.
Yes. Madam Chair, there's a Pamela with her hand raised.
Yeah.
Yes, good night, Miss Pamela. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to express that the lighting, thank you, Vanessa Kwashi. The
You're welcome.
lighting is extremely, it's a resolve, it's a solution. It's to fix something. It's been on my mind and my passion, and I've written and made, like when I respond to surveys, and I have this thing called lights, camera, action, this slogan of mine, lights, camera, action. Well, the lights, that's what we're talking about now, should be, what can we do? Because I like what Andre Beckford, I believe he had mentioned, a collective effort. If Vanessa Kwashi, if she, demonstrated to us that going individually, that's what you get pounced around and promises. How can we, if we agree, how can we collectively make the lighting the biggest issue, like in the world or in our community, so that we can get a resolve for that? Because it must be addressed. People are getting hit by cars. The community is dark. You don't feel safe walking. And certainly, people, when someone tried to rob me, for an example, they wanted me to walk in my block because inside my block was dark, but I stood at the corner underneath the light. Well, they had to do business with me under the light. So light is important. Thank you, Vanessa. I'm sorry.
Okay, Miss
No
Pam,
worries.
Mr. Beckford? Mr. Beckford?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, I just wanted to know if we were to collaboratively all want these issues to be taken care of by, you said, the mayor's office of operations.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, it is something that can be possibly done.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, I've reached out to them plenty of times. They have an online form. You go to the form and you state what your issue is, right? And then, you're basically going to the very top, and they'll disseminate it to the appropriate departments from there, the appropriate agencies from there. But I think what we need to do is clearly define what our issues are and clearly define what resolution we're looking for as well, and having signatures, or just multiple people signing a document, or adding their name to it, would be equal to a signature. Just shows there's strength in numbers, because a lot of times they could just bypass you if it's just one person. Oh, that's just that crazy Mr. Beckford complaining all the time. But if it's a 100 or 1,000 people, right? And they have to pay notice. If they're getting flooded with the same complaint over and over, they have to pay attention, and we keep doing it over and over, and we keep it on our issue tracker from week to week, month to month, until it's resolved. And we keep sending out the complaints. Simple as that. Like you said, technology's here. Let's use it to our advantage. It's not going to take much out of us to send out the complaints via email or via form that they have set up, or even mailing it in, right? Because all of our information is online at these city websites. And I know the New York City has it. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's a geographical information system. It's jizz dot nyc.gov or something like that. But we're all taxpayers, and they're collecting a lot of money from these Black and brown communities, and we got to get our money's worth. And also, the other thing I want to add is the businesses that do that do business in our areas and that are taking money from our areas, and we're creating wealth in their communities and in their families, they need to support us on our issues as well, you know. And if they don't, you know, there should be repercussions for that. You know, we got to take it back to, you know, what MLK was doing, you know, with the breadbasket, right? We got to take it back to that, right? So so I'll look into the geographical information system for New York City .gov, and I'll have that prepared for the next meeting.
Yes,
Mr.
sir. Or
President,
if you have it before,
You want me
I'm
to email it to you?
I'm
Uh,
yes.
well, however you want me to get it to you, I could call you, email, anything. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I suggest what you should do is send a letter addressing this concern to all the city council people that represented Community Board 17. We have about 4 or 5 of them. I think that's the step you should take first. Send it to the concern that was just discussed, in addition to the other concern, to all the city council people that covers Community Board 17, and then take it from there, so they
Yes,
are
sir.
aware of it.
Madam Chair,
Chair,
Yes.
I see some
just one
hands
thing,
up.
hold on. I just want to just add one point. I also did that, and they told me it goes to the wayside because they don't read their emails because they're so overwhelmed.
Okay. I listen to this.
Okay.
It's okay for them to be overwhelmed, but
Mm-hmm.
guess what? When we are going to do it how Mr. Beckford said, after we finish addressing them, because first we have to send a letter to them, so they can't say we never send it to them. As a group,
As a group.
understand? As a group,
Mhm.
there is strength in numbers, and when we send it to them as a group, and after we send it to them as a group and we didn't get a response, then we will be sending it to them through the mayor's office of operations as a group. Again, as a group together. Okay? Yes,
Okay,
Mr.
I'm
Tate,
I'm
who is
going to say
holding hands
something,
up?
but then, Madam Chair, I see Mr. Qualley, Ralph Qualley. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name properly, and Pamela also have their hands up. But in terms of the lights, I just want to bring up the point that right now the council member is having what they call the participatory budgeting. Okay, I don't know when the next meeting will be, but if we could find that out and then try to do a campaign, because the way, I don't know how many of you are familiar with participatory budgeting. So what they do, they have money that we, the constituent, decide, we vote on different projects. And what I would suggest is that we drop a campaign asking for lights in our community, throughout our community, try to see, get enough votes for that. So if it's the top priority, then they have to look into that. So they have $1 million to use. I would say like let's contact Farah Lewis office and find out when is the next participatory budgeting and how we can submit the lights in our community as one of the projects. And that's
And
this
please
Pam
remember
and
that
this Ralph. Mhm.
there's 5 city council members that covers our area, and we should contact them too. They get money from the proprietary budget, so you should
But
send letters to the 5 city council people.
yeah, but
All
not
5
all of
should be
them are
aware of the
participating in this
situation.
participatory budgeting. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause they give you the money.
The next person that has their hand up, Mr. Tate, is who? I know the last one was Miss Pamela, but there was one before her. Who was it?
It was Ralph Qualley.
Yes, Mr. Qualley.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, it doesn't hurt to do them both, whether we send the email or not. And I think, hitting all avenues will show that we've actually done our due diligence and approached and this in multiple different facets. So
Okay, Mr. Qualley. I also agree with that, with sending to both, because it cannot hurt. The more the merrier. That's how I see it.
yeah, you never really know what's gonna be seen and what's not gonna be seen.
Yeah, there's some people that will say, yeah, that happened to me too. And then they'll be more um aware that yes, they thought it was a bit dark over there, and yeah, she also thinks it's dark. You're absolutely right. We don't know how it might hit whichever um persons, whether it's the Congress or Assembly person or even a state senator, that he went by there and he realized, oh, it's pretty dark over here. You never know. So we're going to hit everybody all at once. I agree with that, Mr. Qualley. Thank you. Next, Mr. Tate.
It's Pamela.
Miss Pamela.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for listening. I was just curious. I'm thinking about the letter, and when I hear the committee saying to send it out strategically, I'm thinking of a strategy, because if everyone gets it and unknowing and not know that the other one has gotten it, would this be strategically sound, is to make sure that all those who received it know, you know, that they are one of many who received it, like in a sense, CCing or making a note and letting them know in the letter that we're
Yeah.
reaching out to all the honorable or the elected officials, letting them be aware that they're just one of many. And I'm just wondering if that
That's
would
a
be
very good point.
strategically sound.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and we could definitely, notate that in the email. That others were CC'd on that email. That's a very good point.
That's a good point there, Miss Pamela.
Thank
We're
you.
going to use that as a strategy also.
Okay, I don't see any more hands.
Okay. So, anything else we should address in our community board 67 precinct area? Anything else? Anyone? Well, I have one thing that I have to say, and I know that the 67 precinct can't actually come out and do anything about it. I have a problem with getting my packages, because before we used to be afraid of the people in your building actually stealing your packages. Now I have to be afraid of people coming from outside, going into those Amazon boxes and taking the packages out and walking out the building with the shopping
Insure
bag.
your pack.
With a shopping bag that they
Insure your packages.
it's these packages are insured, yes, because um Amazon actually does replace your monies or ask you if you put in a police report. But my point being, we're living amongst people that are
Sorry.
in. They don't steak. That's
Yeah,
all
you
they do
can't
is
change.
eat steak.
It's all over the world.
I know they're coming out of the elevator, going into those packages and walking out through the front door. And yes, we do have cameras in our buildings, but it's horrible how
You
it's happening.
people are rich, that's why. You
It's
people are rich, that's why they do what they do.
oh, no, we're not. We're rich in other ways, but no, it's not so much that. It's just I just don't like the idea that I think they need to have more hubs in our neighborhood, like in Park Slope. They have like 2 or 3 hubs. I don't know how many hubs they have in Flatbush. I only see like 2. so the package could be delivered over at that hub.
Go in the store and stop spending them big cash.
Next, let's go on. Let's go on to Halloween and safety for the children. And what are the different things we can do to support safety for Halloween? Hello? Any hands? Any hands, Mr. Tate? No?
I don't know if Pam still have it. It's from before, but I see her hands is the only one that's up.
And I always have something to say about everything. Perhaps I should be quiet a little bit. I just wanted to respond or to Jessica Welch when she says the stealing. One gentleman actually parked himself behind my garbage can and took my $400 coat from Macy's in front of my eyes, and he was explaining to me that he lives upstairs and he's getting it for his brother who lives upstairs. Mind you, I live upstairs and downstairs, but I'm listening to his story nevertheless. But I would just my thoughts were really to consider the cameras, but then she went on and said they have cameras, but I don't feel that we have enough cameras in general, because how could people just get away with anything, garbage dumping, stealing, and whatnot? And then I thought about the participatory monies that Mr. Tate talked about, and if that could be, if we find it collectively to be a concern that cameras would be effective in the whole safety realm. And so I'll just leave it at that, because that's important to me as well. But it is what it is. I'll quiet now. And the kids, for the Halloween thingy, I wanted to say something, but I'll get to that. I'll just listen for now.
You're right, ma'am. If you could be living upstairs and downstairs and he's telling you he's getting it, I don't know what I would do. I think
What's up?
my little
Check it.
my little temper would have been up there. I would have got a bat and start batting him just for talking.
He ran before I could get it.
Wow. He really, that's bold face, they call that. Bold face liar. Okay, so let's go on to the Halloween safety for the kids. And a lot of people are suggesting that instead of having the kids going door to door, maybe they should have a Halloween party somewhere, in a community center, at a school.
Not with what's going on now. You see what's going on now? With the new epidemic that is breaking out, and it's affecting children.
Again?
Yes, it is on the
No,
news.
it's been happening, but let me finish, please. And there's also another way of them celebrating by having a Halloween night. They dress up in their costumes and they watch a movie, and the parents bring in the treats and everything, and the kids and the other cousins and the brothers and the sisters all look at a movie, all in the house, and they have their own family gathering for the Halloween instead of going out door to door. You can do this all at home, and you can do it with just the people in the building, everybody looking at this movie night. You can that the old tricksters of Halloween, they put razor blades in apples and they put poison in foods for the kids. So we have to just be aware of this and try to promote the kids getting together with the parents and maybe have a movie night or a Halloween game night. Keep it close to home. That's what I have written down here for Halloween safety. Anybody else? Mr. Tate, anybody has any hands up?
No, only Pam.
Well,
Oh,
that was from before, but some ideas are
Yeah.
shooting in my head if you want to hear. I mean,
yes, please.
all right. So I like the idea of gift certificates, but nevertheless, all the buildings and the families, they don't have monies, or community centers may not have the monies. Or I was just wondering if we or some of the um government officials could send a certain amount of, funding for that, just a little something small, whether it's gift certificates. That's one, so that everyone will have a chance of gaining access to that experience of a movie and some candies in the building per se. The other thing I thought is, if we say, for example, if I were to voluntarily, we have some representatives stand adjacent to the stores and have a bag so that the kids are not impacted by COVID or whatnot, and have a bag containing gift certificates or whatever, because they're very cheap at McDonald's, for an example, and just giving the kids as they're walking to distract them from having to go door to door, kind of just filling their bags up. Giving the stores you know, a bag of candy or a bag of something to distribute so that they're able to, give the kids. I'm just thinking, I'll just leave it at that. So
Thank you very much, Miss Pamela. Um, Next thing is new business. We have any new business at hand?
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
And oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not speaking. Is there any new business?
Oh.
Any new business that we need to discuss? Any hands?
Hands.
Yes, Mr. Tate?
No hands. No hands
No
right now.
hands? Wow. Okay, now this is the juicy part of this meeting, because this is our first meeting. I want to discuss what is our plans for the next year. And I want everybody to give me something. We're going to go in whichever order you want, but we got to say something that we're going to be doing for this year for our public safety committee. Hello.
Yeah, I'm always ready to talk.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Pamela.
Well, I'll say something.
Yes,
This
Mr.
is
Tate.
George. Yes, maybe if we could try and see if we could have like a public safety forum, like
Okay.
where we invite different public safety, for instance, transportation, we have the police department, anything to do with safety, we have like a forum. They could come and discuss what they do and give information to the community. And then if it's something that we could get some fundings, that we could give away some safety material, like whistles, flashlights, something like that, some incentive for the people who come. But the main goal is to have all the different agencies that work in public safety, they do a presentation to the community.
Okay, like OEM and all those
Yes.
other. Okay,
Yes.
that's a good idea. We're going to have a forum for public safety. We're
Yeah.
definitely going to have a forum for public safety. I just didn't figure out which month, because a lot of times when we might want to have this public safety forum, other people are also planning it at the same time. So in order for us to really find when we could have this public safety forum. We have to find out when they're not that busy, because I definitely have to get in touch with OEM. I got to get in touch with the
Fire
fire,
department.
the police.
Mhm.
Um, we just have to come together and collaboratively make this thing happen. But we have to pick a month in which we're going to do it, so we can ask these people in advance if they can show up to the public forum. Because nowadays a lot of people don't want to meet up with anyone because of the outbreaks of the pandemic is still there. But that's definitely something that we're going to work on, a forum. Anyone else? Come on now, don't be shy. Okay, I want something that we need to address from everyone. So please, don't be shy. Please give me something.
Okay, this is Vanessa.
Okay, someone put in the chat room Vision Zero Safety.
Okay, we have Miss Vanessa. Go ahead, Miss Vanessa.
Okay, I don't know how this is gonna go well, but I would like for us to work on getting better representatives from the 67 precinct.
Mm.
We have 3 representatives that didn't show up. One was excused, but I don't think, since I've been on this committee, we have had poor representation.
Oh,
I
so
don't
it's
think,
not just not it's not
no.
just
But you don't have 4 representatives. You only have 3 in the 67.
Excuse me?
You only have 3 in the 67 precinct.
that's on the. Nuh-uh. We have the whole police department.
There's other
Don't
people.
About
matter.
us,
I said
the community officers are only 3 people.
we can
Okay, that's
Only
elect.
community affairs.
Yeah.
community affairs. Only 3.
Okay,
So
but that doesn't mean that I can't want somebody else to come.
yes, what
But
Anyone can
we have.
come.
no
So we,
matter what you want, remember the police department is run by someone who runs it and they have the plan. You can say
Yeah.
what you want, you can request. But I'm saying there's only 3
I
community
said,
officers
don't shoot
in
my.
every precinct.
Hello. Do not shoot my idea down. What I'm saying is that we can work on trying to get a relationship with Deputy Inspector Saliba and see if there are any NCOs that we can put in those positions and get them promoted. The ones we have are not working. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Vanessa. I
You.
agree with you 1,000%.
Thank you.
Anyone else for the discussion on plans for this year?
I was thinking on my front in terms of engagement on other platforms. That may interest the community. Places that where people can put their issues and whether I was looking at the Twitter account actually, and it has some good engagement there and news and updates and things like that. So I don't know if maybe it's worth it to have our own Twitter account, or for example, or maybe other ways to engage the community where people can voice their opinions if they're not able to join this call, for
Oh, you
example.
mean actually have our own Twitter account for our public safety committee?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
that can happen.
other forms of engagement that that if for example somebody's not able to make this forum, they may be able to voice their opinions there.
Okay, I'm gonna see about that.
Just curious, Mr. Ralph, would that be something you would be interested in moderating or keeping putting together? Because
Yeah, I
it's
mean, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that. I just I guess, need the information in terms of, I guess, how to relay those pieces out, and we need to have some kind of organization with it. So,
So that this way, like somebody in the community, like say me, and I wanted to address the my packages issue, I could just sign in and speak.
yeah, I mean, the way I think about it is that, we talk about our issues here essentially, but a lot of people, may have some issues, but we're not able to reach them because they're not able to make this forum, right? Um, maybe it's something simple that they're like, man, I wish it could be better, but you know, it just, they live with it every day. But if they had something easy and quick that they could just, oh, let me just, shoot this out. And maybe other people are having this issue, maybe other people like it too. And then you can gauge community involvement. Oh, this seems to be a high issue, and people are communicating on this, and we can put polls out there too, on things that we would want to do, and see, engagement based on that. But I mean, there would be other things involved with that in terms of marketing it, making sure that everybody knows in the community about this, and other pieces as well.
Okay, that's a thought, Mr. Ralph. Actually, I was always thinking about this. I said, you know, this thing called Church Avenue. It's called Church Avenue for a reason, right? It's called Church Avenue because it has the most churches
In Brooklyn.
in Brooklyn,
Hmm.
and Church Avenue is in our corridor, and a lot of churches. Whether I go to their church or don't go to their church, the whole thing is it could be an announcement made in these different churches, and you never know who and what ideas they can bring to our committee when it comes to safety, because we might be there pressing on this, and the people in the churches actually experience certain things that we don't experience, and that could help us better target what we are going to speak about, or what we are going to try to resolve with the ideas and the public safety committee and the community affairs officers that's supposed to be there helping us. So that's a great idea there. Thank you, Mr. Ralph. Even I don't usually think about Twitter and things like that, but that's a very good idea. Anybody else?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Lieutenant? Yes.
Yeah, George Tate again, and I'm sorry that I hope I don't look like I'm trying to take over the meeting, okay? But it's
No,
just,
no, I need your help, so go ahead.
okay, thank you. But another suggestion I have is that, especially, I don't know if everyone, I see a lot of new names here, so I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with the NCOs and the Build the Block meetings that they have. So the NCOs are the neighborhood coordinating officers. The precinct is divided into 4 sectors, and each sector has 2 officers. I would suggest, like if you could attend their Build the Block meetings and familiarize yourself with them. This way, you could speak directly to them if you have a problem. They will share their phone numbers and their email with you. And if you have any problem, you could call them directly. I find it, well, I found my 2 NCOs to be real good. Whenever I'm in Sector D, and whenever I call them, they will respond to my call or to my emails. So I was, unfortunately, if anyone lives in Sector A, their quarterly meeting was tonight, conflicting with ours.
Wow.
A couple of years ago, when I was the chair of public safety, what I did if I saw, and I know, Jessica, you are new at this, so that's why I'm, trying to help as much as I can. Uh, Whenever I see, I will speak with them, and a couple of times, if they had a build a block on the same night as our meeting, what we would do, we would combine them and have them have a combined meeting with the build a block and the excuse me, and the public safety. This way, two things: we ensure that the police officers are there, and we also ensure that the community get to learn who they are. And so that's it. But again, Sector B, and maybe you could call the community board office to get the dates and information. But the next build a block meeting that they have is Sector B, which would be November 2nd. Then they have another one, Sector C, November 9th, and Sector D, December 14th. I'm sorry, and Sector E is December 7th. So I recommend that you speak to so it's five, I'm sorry, five different sectors. But I recommend if you could get information and attend. Right now, these meetings some of them are virtual, some of them are in person. The one on next week, November 2nd, is going to be at the Flatbush Gardens at 7 p.m. That's Sector B. So
The Flatbush Gardens, the
and it's not
apartment
informative.
Flatbush Gardens, that's the
Judy, Miss Judy Arians have her hands up.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, because I'm Sector B. So how do you, so you just go to the precinct, or is there a number so you know how to get notified of these build a block meetings, or where do you say you look for it?
Okay, again, you could look on the precinct website, or if you want to call, you could call the community board office. But if you are in Sector B, as a boy, your next meeting is next week, November 2nd at 7 p.m. And it's going to be at the Flatbush Garden Community Center, 1404 Brooklyn Avenue.
Thank you.
And the phone number for the phone number for the sergeant that's in charge of the NCOs is, his name is Sergeant Urena, Urena, and the phone number to reach is 718-287-3200. So this way you could get your information.
Yolanda Aline here.
Yolanda Ali?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Aline, please.
One of the things that Mr. Tate is correct about the builder block, but one of the things that's one of the best kept secret in town, because when they haven't built a block, nobody knows. A lot of people don't go on websites to check things out. So I find that is a big issue for me. In our sector, which I'm in Sector D like Mr. Tate, it works perfectly because we have our NCOs are very good and they're attentive and they're willing to come and listen to you and what you have to say. But there's a lot of those people on the 67 precinct, as I call them, sorry folks. They are useless as far as I'm concerned, because even when you go to that precinct, they don't even try to help you.
Yes, ma'am.
And the community officers, they show up when they feel like, and half the time, all they want to talk about is catalytic converters, when we have other issues that I think, even though catalytic thing is very important, but we have crime, and they don't talk about crime. They talk about catalytic converter, which is most annoying to me.
Yes, Miss Aline, I understand what you're saying, but because we have to do this in an orderly manner, if anyone here in our committee is willing to
I'm a
go
committee member.
to, okay, we have sector A, B, C, and D, and E.
E.
And I am not able to go to all 5 meetings, but if I have one of our committee members go to their meetings are virtual also. So even if we attend,
Some of them are, some of them are not.
right, but if we go to the meeting or if we zoom into the meeting, it'll be a help for me because I will hear from you what was spoken to you at that meeting, and maybe we could take from what you experienced at the meeting and put it to our new meeting for the next month. That'll be helpful for me
Yes,
I
but I,
understand
because
what
I
you're
know I can't
saying.
go to all 5 meetings.
I know I'm not saying, but one of the things that I'm saying, it is not marketed very well because most of the people in the community don't know about it. That's why I
That's
say
why
the best kept secret in town.
that's why I'll appreciate any of the members that we have here in our committee be able to go to either A, B, C, D, or E. Now, we can't have 5 people saying that they're going to go to the meetings and then everybody's in sector D. So we need to know which sector is available and which night or which meeting you're available to attend in the A, B, C, D, or E. And that would help me immensely. So I have anybody here willing to break up into A, B, C, D, and E?
uh, may I chime in on that a little?
Yes.
Yeah, my suggestion is that each person attend attend the meetings for their own sectors. Because
Right.
what happened, like if you live in sector A, attend the meeting for sector A because it's very important that you learn who your NCOs are and to get a good rapport with them. And then someone in sector B, someone in sector C, D, and E. As long as I'm available, and I will be attending sector D because to me that's very important to get the information, for my own sector. But not that the NCOs will not help you if you're in another sector, but that's not their main
That makes
responsibility.
sense.
They could
Jay.
refer you.
That
Hmm?
absolutely makes a lot of sense because I don't know where everybody lives, but
Yeah.
you must know where you are in in the division of the 6-7 precinct. Remember the community board usage of the 6-7th precinct? Um, I'm sorry to say I don't know which sector I'm in, but I
Well,
will find out.
the community board office should have a map with the different sectors and
But
who the
if we had our
who,
community affairs officers here, I'm
I
sure they
do
would
have it, Miss Welch.
uh-huh.
I have a recent copy of the map. Anyone interested could call
yes,
the office or put their email in the chat, and I will forward a copy to them.
yes.
So this way they'll know
Miss
which sector
Frazier,
they're in.
yeah, Miss Frazier,
Yes, Mr. Tate.
do you have the copy of the Build a Block meetings?
Oh,
Ca-
I could get all of that from Officer Pierre. It's not a problem. I could get that tomorrow.
No, yeah, 'cause he sent it to me the other day. So if you want me to send it to you, or if you get it, whatever. This way you could disseminate
Called
it to
him
the
and he
people.
sent me the list of the names, but I don't have a copy of the meetings. But I could get that information from him tomorrow. Anyone
Oh,
interested could just shoot me an email or put their email in the chat, and I will forward
mhm.
all the information to them.
And also, everybody that's listening right now, I would like everybody to also send Miss Frazier your phone number so that I'm able to call because I am a phone person. I'm sorry. I'm over 60 years old and I haven't been able to grasp my hands on technology where I'm sending emails and not speaking to a person. So please, everybody that's in this meeting tonight, please send Miss Frazier your phone number, not just your email, but your phone number so I can get in touch. Please.
Madam Chair, Judy Abrams have her hands up again, so maybe she wants to
No,
say
I was
something.
just gonna volunteer to go to sector B because that's where I'm in. That's all.
Thank you, Miss Aarons. So you'll do sector B.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Aarons. Thank you. I'll write you down, Aarons.
Jessica, dámelo por. Tengo. Sí.
Sector B. Anyone else?
As I mentioned, I will do sector B.
I have you, Mr. Tate, for sector D.
D as David.
Yeah, D as in David. Anyone else? We have 1, 2, 3 more sectors. Anyone else? Anyone else? Mr. Beckford, are you still there? Mr. Beckford? Hello?
Yes, I'm still here. What's the question?
Oh, I was wondering if maybe you are in one of the sectors and you can is in the Build-A-Block meetings, because the Build-A-Block meetings have different sectors. So far, I have somebody in sector B, and
I
I
don't
have
know
some.
what the sectors are. I'm with
But that's just it. Miss Frazier is willing to find out which one you're in and let you know. If you just put it in her chat, she said.
okay.
I think you need your address there. Did you hear the part about when I was saying I needed everybody to put their phone number and their
Yeah, Miss
email?
Frazier has my information.
Miss Yeah, I know she does, but can you just send it to her in the chat,
Oh,
please?
in the chat. Yeah, I can do that.
Yes, please, because her having your information and it being in her hands is two different things.
Okay.
Because I needed to get people's phone number to find out if they was coming, because I was going to make a call to find out,
Okay.
you know. So the Build-A-Block meetings are monthly, and so
No,
far we have
quarterly.
somebody for sector B. Huh?
They're quarterly.
They're quarterly, not even
Yes.
monthly, Mr. Beckford. I stand corrected. It's not monthly, it's quarterly. Okay?
Okay.
So it's a quarterly meeting, and they meet what, every 3 months, Mr. Tate?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Every 3 months they meet.
yeah. For this quarter, the only one that's in person is sector B. All the others can be via Zoom. There's Zoom meetings.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Mr. Beckford?
It is.
Okay. Another thing, Miss Vanessa. Miss Vanessa,
Yes,
do you know what sector you're in?
I'm in D
Yeah,
as in
she's in D.
David.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Anyone else that's in another sector? Mr. Ralph? Mr. Ralph? Are you there, Mr. Ralph?
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm here. I'm just dealing with a little emergency with the kids.
We were discussing the different sectors, and they have quarterly meetings. They don't have monthly meetings. They have quarterly meetings, and I was asking for the committee's help in going to the quarterly meeting That's I think 4 times a year, Mr. Tate.
Yes. Mhm.
Yes, they meet like 4 times a year so that we can know what's going on and what we can add to their build a block meetings. And I was requesting that the committee members ask Miss Frazier what is their sector so that I can better help. You could better help me so we could better help our community. So, in Miss Frazier's chat, we would like for you to put your phone number in there and your email address in there so that I can get in touch with you when I need to get in touch with you. Or if you have anything. And Miss Frazier will have my phone number so people can call me.
Mr. Beckford,
Yes.
yes, where about you live? Because I'm looking at the Build a Block meetings right now. If you don't
Oh,
mind
that's
telling me,
great.
Okay.
where about do you live?
37th Street between Glenwood and Farragut.
37 between Glenwood and Farragut. Okay, that's the other side. I believe that is. Oh yeah, that's Sector B also.
Oh, sorry, Mister.
That's
You
Sector
already
B.
have some.
That's the meeting. That's next week.
And I'm over there on Linden and Bedford. Where?
Linden and Bedford. I believe that's Sector A. Mhm. Yeah, Jean Francois. Mhm.
So I'm in Sector
That
A.
meeting, that was the meeting that was tonight.
So I don't have another meeting for the next 3-4 months. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I'm still gonna reach out. Who is that?
That's Detective Jean Francois and Police Officer Colura. I could forward you this email, Miss
Okay.
Welch. Mhm.
Yes, please. Anybody else? Who else? Miss Vanessa? Hello, Miss Vanessa? Miss Vanessa, are you there?
She's in Sector D.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
so it's already Mr. Tate is taking care of Sector D.
yes,
Okay.
you had asked me already.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
I see. I'm just looking up. Okay. Is there anything else you would like for us to discuss for this year on our committee? Anything else? Any hands, Mr. Tate?
No, I don't see any hands, but I just want to remind you that it's 9:15
We're
in
about to
case you're not
close
keeping
up.
track.
We're gonna
Yeah.
close up now. Well, I thank everybody for showing up via Zoom. And next month we're gonna have a meeting. And I'll give out my number. My number is 917-971-8959.
89 what?
59.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm available in the morning hours. That means anytime after 9.
Miss Welch,
Yes, sir.
can you please give me your email so I could send this thing right?
My email is ghouse, G as in girl,
Yes.
house like in Mickey Mouse house,
Yes.
PTA at gmail.com.
G House, and what was that? P as PTA?
P is in Peter, T is in Tom, A is in Anna,
Yes. At Gmail?
.com.
Yes. Okay. I just forwarded the Build a Block meetings thing to you. If
Oh,
you
great.
don't see it, call me, let me know. Okay?
Okay, thank you. And I want to thank everybody for showing up. And we're going to have another meeting next month. And if there is anything that you think you might want to talk about that I don't have on the agenda, you can always let me know. Thank you very much for showing up, everybody. And I will find out why our community affairs officers didn't show. All three, and none of them showed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Adjourn.
You need, yeah.
Meeting has to be called to adjourn.
I make a motion. George,
Motion.
make a motion to
Make a
adjourn the
motion,
meeting.
please. I'm sorry.
Vanessa Claus, she seconds it.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss
Okay.
Vanessa.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Okay.
All right.
Good evening.
Good night.
Okay, good night. Good night.
Good night.